Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video, I'll be going over the Washington Commanders 2024 draft class and giving you guys my overall thoughts on the class and going over how they're the most athletic class this year out of any team. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. It's free, takes a few seconds, and it really does mean a ton and help out a ton, so just go ahead and do it. Trying to hit 13,000 subscribers soon, and we are very close. So the Washington Commanders 2024 draft is over, and let's read the class. And I'm not going to give an official grade. Maybe I'll give a little bit of a range, and I'll go over some of my favorite picks, some of my picks that I didn't like as much. But Jaden Daniels, number 2, not a surprise at all. Then you got Johnny Newton, D-tackle, out of Illinois at 36. That was a little bit of a surprise. Very talented player. I would have rather us gone offensive line here. I do, though, understand the pick. I'm not, hating on it. And I think he's a very good player. But again, I think we got John Allen there. We got Daron Payne there. We got John Ridgway there. Phidarian Mathis, second-round pick, even though he's overdrafted. Honestly, that shouldn't even be in consideration for taking a D-tackle there, because Phidarian Mathis hasn't really done anything. But still, I think we have a lot of talent at the position, and he's definitely improving the talent and he's improving the room. I just think there were bigger needs, and there were still guys that were very talented on the board at positions of need. There were some receivers there. There were some cornerbacks like Kool-Aid. I like the corner we got next, which we'll talk about. But there were other positions we could have gone after, but I'm not complaining about the pick because Johnny Newton's a very, very talented player, and I think he'll be a very good player for us. And honestly, my opinions on this move will change if we end up trading Allen or Payne, because it makes a lot more sense because he'll get a lot more playing time right away. Next pick, Mike Sanderstill. Very good pick in my opinion. This is probably my favorite pick besides maybe one of these, this pick right here, Luke McCaffrey. But Mike Sanderstill, Nick Saban said he thinks he's the best pound-for-pound football player in this class. Played, nickel at Michigan, can also play a little bit of safety, and, he can play really all over the place. He played a little bit on the outside, but with Washington, I think Peters was saying he's going to be a nickel guy. So we'll see what Quan Martin plays, but where they decide to put him. But Mike Sanderstill is going to play a lot in his rookie year, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. A team captain as well. Next pick Ben Sinnott, tight end, Kansas State. Fullback, and played a little bit of fullback, can block, and then of course played tight end. Broke a lot of tackles at Kansas State, and get some touchdowns. Also a very, very good red zone threat for Kansas State. So he's a player I really like, and maybe we overdrafted a little bit, but again, overall I think it was a good, solid pick for the Commanders. He's going to be able to learn behind Zach Ertz for a year or two, and then, hopefully come into his own. Next pick, Brandon Coleman, offensive tackle, TCU. Some people view him as a guard, but Adam Peters said they view him as a tackle. So they're at least going to try him out at tackle first, and then after that, maybe if that doesn't work out, they'll move him to guard, but he'll start out probably as tackle or at tackle, and maybe he'll start the season, be the starter for the Commanders. Or if that doesn't work out, then they'll have Cornelius Lucas start, or maybe they'll sign a tackle as well this offseason. They still got time. Next pick, Luke McCaffrey, brother of Christian McCaffrey, played at Rice, was a former quarterback. I think he went to Nebraska. It didn't work out there. Then he went to Rice, still as a quarterback, didn't work out. Then was the receiver, or switched to receiver for a couple years, and was a beast. And he's quick, he's big. I think he's 6'2", so biggest receiver on the team that actually is going to be a contributor. I'm excited to see what he can do. Obviously has, that family has some familiarity with Adam Peters. So yeah, I think that Luke McCaffrey is going to hopefully be a contributor right away. Still learning the position though, so might take him a little bit of time. But the receiver room isn't that deep right now. You got Terry, Jahan, and then after that, it's just a bunch of question marks. You got Crowder in there. You got the receiver from the Eagles, or however you pronounce his name, guy to UVA. So McCaffrey has a chance to play. Then you drafted Jordan McGee, linebacker out of Temple. Solid value there, in my opinion, and probably a true middle linebacker, but he also can, rush the passer a little bit as well. Talented player, I believe a team captain as well. I really like that pick, and the linebacking core, the depth is very good. You keep adding to the position, and even though it's a 5th round pick, like that's still a guy that in a couple years, hey, maybe he can end up being a player for them after sitting behind Bobby Wagner. I think you got to take advantage of that when you got legends in the building, and Bobby Wagner is a legend. He's going to probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer, or at least definitely a Hall of Famer. Then you got to take advantage of that, get these guys behind him, and develop. It helps with development. It does for sure. Next pick, Dom Hampton, safety out of Washington, versatile guy. I believe also was a team captain. I like this pick. Versatile player as well. Safety, linebacker, kind of hybrid. Play in the box for them, and athletic as well. And then you got Javonte Jean-Baptiste, edge rush out of Notre Dame, was at Ohio State, then transferred. I believe he also was a team captain, and very athletic as well. Let's look at some of these traits right here. So Jaden Daniels and Johnny Newton didn't test, I guess, but Jaden Daniels, I guess his score would have been a little bit mixed because he is athletic, but then the size would have been bad, so his score would have been a little bit lower. Johnny Newton, I'm not completely sure, but he is somewhat athletic. The lowest guy was 8.45, Mike Sainristil, but that's still high, and that's really just because of the size. Then you got Ben Sinnott, 9.73, Brandon Coleman, 9.97. That's as close as you're gonna, almost as close as you're gonna get to the top. So very few players more athletic than Brandon Coleman, but that also is because they have him listed as guard. So if it was tackle, I'm sure it would be a little bit lower, but still he's quick. I think I saw like a 35 or 40-inch vertical leap. That's insane for an offensive lineman. Then you got Luke McCaffrey, 9.44. That's still very good. You got Jordan McGee, 9.6. Dom Hampton, 9.58. And then Javonte Jean-Baptiste, 9.22. So overall, very, very athletic class. And that seems to be a common theme here in Washington, or in this draft class. And that's something that Adam Peters, I guess, values. We'll see next year how it changed if they still draft a lot of athletic guys. That will be interesting for sure. You see the Eagles have the second highest RAS score, which again is just a way to calculate the players. So hey, if you're right with the Eagles, that's a good spot to be. And you look at this. The Steelers are third. They're pretty good at drafting. Then you got the Chiefs at 4. That's good company to be in. That's good company to be in. And then you got the Jets. And then after that, you got the Ravens. So, hey, it's a solid indicator. And the Bears up there, who I thought had a very good class. And, it's also not counting some of their top guys. But overall, I don't know if I'm going to give an exact grade for this class. I'll go over my favorite pick, probably Luke McCaffrey. I'm just very intrigued by that. I think he could end up being a really good player down the line. Might take a little bit of time, but I think he has a lot of potential. And then also really liked the Mike Sainristil pick as well. Think he'll be a stud for them. My least, and I guess Jaden Daniels, but that's just a cop-out answer. I've wanted Jaden for a while. Least one is probably Johnny Newton, and I know people will be like, he's talented, and I understand that, but again, for me, I think we could have gone a different direction there. But hey, it is what it is, and I think he's going to be a stud. So if he's a stud, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Payne and Allen, Payne's got a while, Allen's got a couple years, but left on his contract. But still, if you can get good players, you get good players. So let's, Newton better be good, and I think he will. So probably give this like a solid, high B, low A grade. This draft class, they did really good, addressed a lot of their needs. Only thing is I think they could have addressed offensive line a little bit better. So that's why I'm not going to give them a perfect grade, just because, I think they could have addressed offensive line a little bit better a little bit earlier and drafted more than one offensive lineman. That's my only real gripe with it, is that, and maybe the second round pick, but I think it was a good class. And draft grades are kind of stupid. You really don't know how it's going to turn out and how these guys are going to develop, if they're going to, any off the field issues, any injuries. So it just really, and hopefully that doesn't happen, knock on wood, but you really just got to wait and see with these guys. So wait a couple years and we'll come back and look at this video. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.